What's good, y'all? It has been a long time since I have been on here and gone live. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know I got cameras around here and they go in different directions, and I don't know which one to look at. So if y'all find me looking around or not looking at all or not, um, appearing like I'm all the way tuned in, that's a real thing that is happening. I just want to come by real quick to have a honest and trill conversation about some shit that we are not talking about, but that is avidly and actively affecting us in our daily lives. And there's a real thing when y'all hop on here, make sure you say, hey, hello. I'm not gonna be on here too long. It has been a long time since I've been on here, so I imagine that I may or may not be populating appropriately. But when you pop in and say, hey, let me know you're here, you know. But y'all, people are not well right now. And I think it's important for us to be able to say that out loud, that people are not all the way well right now. There are a lot of wonderful things that are happening in the world. And I think we should acknowledge that. Hey, Zudi, if you want here, say what's up, say, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? We're finna do a real quick little rap session about some trill shit because I think it's important. Hey, Melanie, if you want here, make sure you say what's up. Over here on y'all on YouTube as well. But what I want to say, man, it's a lot of wonderful things that are happening right now in life. And I think we should celebrate them. I think we should always do the best that we can to focus on the positive. I also think it's important for us to be honest about the reality of folks' well-being, mental state, and how we are able to be able to navigate this time in our lives. Like we're in the middle of a transition, y'all, and I'm grateful to be a millennial where I've had the luxury of being able to go through transitions, right? Where we didn't have no computers when I first came out, you know what I'm saying? All the way to seeing everything being technologically driven. Like we didn't start out with computers and stuff in the classroom. These babies got it immediately, you know? But as you watch things transition, y'all ain't never been in no pandemic before, okay? I ain't never had to deal with a COVID before or all of these different things that we see happening in the world right now that we are being required to adjust to, you know? And I think it's important for us to acknowledge that in that, um, it's causing shifts within our own personal realities. People, it's a video that's out right now of this lady talking about Biden talking about folk dying that they never died before. That's some real shit. It's a lot of people that's been dying. We've been losing a lot of our loved ones. We've been watching a lot of dismay and destruction, not only in other parts of the world, but also in our backyards. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's a lot of things that are happening right now. And I don't know if we are being honest about the need for focusing on healing and wellness. Like I realize that's a trendy thing right now. And it's like, it's cool for people to talk about healing and addressing trauma and self-care. Even I think it's even a bit of a trend happening around mental health. You know what I'm saying? Good mental health. And I hate that because what my hope is that comes out of it is that it's good practice that comes out. Hey Tiffany, hey Erica, when you get on here, say hello to me. Let me know you on here with me. You know, if you got something you want to drop off, you know what I'm saying, me to pick up or to include, please share your thoughts by all means. But y'all, we got to be okay with taking care of ourselves, and we got to be okay saying when we are not okay. One thing I tell y'all about me, when you don't see me on here too much, it's probably because I'm somewhere taking care of myself. You know, I would love to be able to be accessible all the time, but that's not healthy. It's not good practice to be accessible all the time. It's not good practice to be everywhere in everything. And y'all, I don't know that it's a good practice to be outside right now. You know what I'm saying? We got Delta variant, we got monkeypox, it's a Lambda variant that's out here. It's all different kind of shit that's happening. And one of the things that I have been sincerely aware of, that this is a season where we're being called to be still, y'all. And I ain't talking about the government and what the fuck they doing. They told us, and they are telling us on billboards, via FEMA.com and everywhere else, make a plan. I want to say that out loud and I want to say it clear. Make a plan. Okay? If the government is telling you to make a plan, You need to be listening because they know something that they not sharing, okay? And that happens a lot of times, but they do be sharing. It just requires us to go do a little bit of looking and a little bit of reading, okay? Last year, we watched folk go without plumbing. We watched folk go without power. We watched folk go without essentials, okay? Essentials. And for weeks, because the infrastructure wasn't in place to be able to address it. And we finna go into another winter, y'all. The summer is winding down. We finna go into fall real soon. The question is, how far ahead are we thinking? And are we thinking for just ourselves? Or are we also thinking for our people? Hey, Angela, a life, absolutely. Like, Vicky, man, I want us to be conscientious about it because as we watching these numbers go up, these kids then just went back to school. You know what I'm saying? And so as we acknowledge that, yes, the kids are back in school. Yes, we are happy that there is some return to normalcy that we once knew. Y'all, there's a lot of variables out here that I just hope that we're being mindful of with forethought, you know, because if the teachers go on strike because they ain't being paid enough and they ain't being treated right, if the COVID outbreak happens in the school where everybody's at risk and folk got to go home, what are we doing for the kids? We got to start thinking about making plans. Absolutely, Angela, we got to start stocking up. We got to start making sure we got water, making sure we got dry food and like soups and food supplies that can be used. We got to make sure we got other power sources. I don't know if y'all been pricing generators, but there might be something that you want to get together with your people and start thinking about, you know, investing in together, putting a plan together that, hey man, if the shit hit the fan and I can't go over here, I can't go over here, we're gonna go over here at this person's house. If everybody shit out, this is, you know what I'm saying, what the default is. These are conversations that you need to start having with your people. If I'm saying something that you know is real and you know your people need to see and hear, make sure you hit the share button on this whole, by all means. It ain't a whole lot of y'all talking to me, but I see y'all on here with these numbers. So all I'm saying is, make sure this message get to your people because there's a lot of shit that we're not talking about that we need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? I talk about this transition that we in the middle of. Hey, Mo, I see y'all on here. That's what I say. When you get on here, say hello to me. If you got something you want to say, I need to uplift. Make sure you drop it in the chat so we can talk about it because it's a whole lot, again, that we don't want to talk about out loud. Okay? And all I'm saying is, y'all, we know inside when some shit ain't right. We know when a motherfucker telling us a story and they ain't telling the whole story. Okay? I don't want to get into the vaccination shit. I don't want to get into it. All I want to say is we know when a motherfucker ain't telling us the whole story. Okay? You know in your belly when it ain't right. All I'm saying is make good decisions for yourself. Make good decisions for your family. Protect you by any and all means. Any and all means. Hey, Shamika. Hey, Speedy. Oh, we can't answer the phone right now. Hey, Tanya. Listen. Protect yourself by any and all means. Man. I can't do it. How I turn, man? All right, I'm sorry, y'all. Phone start blowing up. But look, protect yourself by any and all means. And what I mean by that is this is a country that acknowledges the Second Amendment. Okay, I'm not for violence. I am for self-preservation, and we are at a place where folk need to be thinking about that. Okay, one thing I can tell you is that when shit hit the fan, when chaos comes and people don't have what they need. When I say what they need, I mean the essentials. Okay. Meg Thee Stallion got a song. She said, before I let my people starve, I take it at your mouth. Okay. I know a lot of folk who think like that. And all I'm saying is if you got it and somebody else ain't got it, we got to figure out how we can put mutual aid in place so we can make sure that all our people are taken care of. Hey, Shamika, did I say? Oh, I think I said it already. Okay. But with that, y'all, this means we got to be sitting down. We got to be in a position where we reading and we researching and we watching what the fuck is going on in front of us. This is not something that we need to turn our eyes from. These are not things that we need to act like are not what they are. They are that. You know what I'm saying? I would encourage y'all to look up the UN 2030 plan. Okay? That's a real thing. The UN 2030 plan. Because if y'all not aware, history repeats itself. And if we're not aware of what has been, then we also are a little disconnected from what
could be to come. And the depressions happened in the 30s. And if, oh my goodness. And if I was y'all, I would be looking at what happened as things were leading up to it. You know, I think we're back again. I think we need to be paying attention to what countries are having unrest and why. I think we need to be looking at what's happening in our own political climate and what decisions are being made around our lives and our rights and our ability to have free choices and free thought in society. I know it's a lot of people who are advocates for mandates, and I'm all advocates for protection and for us being able to protect each other and to figure out what that looks like by any and all means. I am not an advocate for the loss of the right for people to make free choices and free thoughts. And when you do mandates, you open the door for that. You open the door for that, you know? And so I just want to say, y'all, this is a season for us to be diligent in paying attention. You know what I'm saying? When the serpent on the cross, you want to keep your eyes on him. Sometimes we don't want to see the destruction because we know that that's a part of what's in front of us. But I think it's important for us to also acknowledge that when you can't see what's coming, you also can't prepare. And you can't be ready for nothing that you ain't prepared for. And that's a whole word in and of itself, because being ready and being prepared are not the same things. Okay, you can have prepared for something, meaning that you did everything that you knew to do to get you to that point. And then when you get there, there's still something, another variable that you couldn't predict that still keeps you from readiness. You know what I'm saying? But when you are ready, it's when you've not only done all that work, but it's also when you settled in your spirit with whatever may come. Okay. And this whole conversation around mental health and around us actually addressing our trauma and addressing the toxicity in our lives and in our spaces and how we are engaging with that is directly related to how we're going to be able to show up when it's time. Okay. So if we're not putting together the practices, the discipline, the systems, the infrastructure in our lives that's going to facilitate us being able to be the best selves that we have. Hey, Tuffy, we're going to struggle when we get there. You feel me? And that's the part that we got to sit still and think about. And y'all, I believe in being one with the spirit and listening for what the spirit has to say to us. But this is going to take some divine direction. And if we're not seeking divine wisdom, y'all, if we're not going within, we're going to go without when it's time. And I just want us to be aware. I want us to be aware of the power that we have. Everything that we need is within us. It's a requirement of us to actually tap in. Which is why I say we can't be doing this pseudo shit around healing. We can't be playing around actually doing the work of addressing the trauma. And we can't be mad when, you know, we got folk in the community that want to hold us accountable. People keep asking me about Sha'Carri Richardson. This is what I'm going to tell you. Man, the sister is a good sister and she can run her ass off. But as it relates to accountability, man, when you ain't at your best and you got to get what you need, you got to stop and be able to acknowledge that. Our egos can't impede on us actually being able to be the best. You feel me? You're going to get up there and talk that shit like you the best, man. You got to do the work to do that. And that's a consistent effort. That's a day in, day out thing. And sometimes in order to be checked, in order to be corrected, in order to be able to get to that place of healing, you got to be in a space where you're teachable, where you're correctable, where you're work wittable, you know? And sometimes y'all, and us needing to present in certain ways where we can't let nothing get to us, and we always got to be strong, and we always got to have it together, and we always got a posture. Like, we don't have experiences of fucked upness. All of us got some experiences of fucked upness, okay? Don't none of us make it out this motherfucker without them. It's just a part of life. But the contrast is that if you don't know pain, you don't know beauty and blessings. You know what I'm saying? You got to know one in order to be able to appreciate the other. And it's from that experience of the duality that we come together and get to decide how we want to polarize our lives. How we want to bring that together and make meaning and tell our stories and be able to show up in the world with purpose and power. And all that shit come from inside. And when we recognize that as individuals, as single beings, and then we take that knowing and we connect with other folk who have the same knowing, who doing the same work, who are invested in themselves and their own growth in the same ways, then it's easy to be invested in each other's. And that's communal. You know what I'm saying? All this shit flow from the inside out. So when we fucked up on the inside and we ain't doing what the fuck we need to, that's what come out and that's what we share and that's what we embody and that's what becomes our norm. And that's what we're living in right now. We're living in a norm of people who are used to posturing and showing up in ways that are not authentic to who they are. And it's killing us on the inside. Ain't no power in that, y'all. It ain't no power in diminishing who you are and who God has called you to be and who you supposed to walk in because somebody else told you that shit ain't all right. It ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? We got to validate ourselves to a place that when we walk in our power, and I'm motherfucker like, wait a minute, make it cool, man. You know, we're so busy trying to look for the trend and we forget we set the trends. If I done said something that's good on this motherfucker, hit the share button for me. Excuse my language, if it's any elders on here, I'm so sorry. But I am beyond the place of actually like thinking about the political presentation of what I'm saying. I hope you can hear the heart of the words. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more and more I sit still, the more and more I feel like I become open to being poured into. And when I say my prayers, y'all, when I make my petitions known, like there is something happening where the veil is broken with manifestation. Like this shit is happening in record timing, okay? I ain't never seen it happen like it's happening before. I don't know if the ancestors and all got together and they didn't decide, hey, we're going to tear some shit up here for them. Whatever they need, we don't like, they passing them out, okay? They are passing them out. And all I'm saying is, y'all, when we make our ass, I hope we ain't asking for trivial shit. I hope we're asking for the things that have the ability to be able to shape shift spiritually. Because this is a spiritual battle that we in the midst of fighting. And we can't come at it with material eyes. We can't. It requires so much more than that. Thank you, Tanya. I'm just here, man. I've been getting my downloads. You feel me? And I have been being disobedient. So first of all, I want to apologize to y'all because I've probably been holding on to some shit that I should have been gave to you. But like I said, when you don't see me, it's because I'm actually trying to care for myself and figure out the best way to care for my people. Because this shit ain't a show for me. You know what I'm saying? Social media, all this is not trendy. You know, this is a lifestyle. And again, healing has to be a part of our practice. We've got to incorporate more discipline in the way we approach life. And I'm talking to myself too, you know, like I'm really been working on getting a handle on that. Man, Nate, I appreciate you, man. I mean this shit. At the end of the day, we got to figure out what we're going to live for, y'all. And we got to figure out what we're going to die for, because all is going to go one day and one way. None of us make it out of this thing alive. All I'm saying is, what is it that we willing to put our time and our energy in relationship to our healing that's going to be able to compel a change later on? You know, I keep hearing this theme reiterated this weekend about the woman. Woman inherits the earth. Woman fills the void. Woman is going to be the one who is the leader. And boy, when I look at how we moving into the age of Aquarius, I know the future is film. But to my women, I'm ready for us to come together in different ways, more intentionally. I want to see it. I want to be a part of it. I want to manifest that, okay? And I say that because we I don't know what we've been waiting on. I be feeling like we be waiting on permission from somebody, and ain't nobody gonna give us none. And it's not even just the women, but period. Anytime you call to do something in life, anytime you got a purpose, that's something you bred for, something that's in you in order to be able to give out to the world, nobody gives you permission to do that. You accept the call from inside you and you go do it. That's the charge. Go. Don't shit come to you until you go. You got to take some steps in order to see some other things come back to you. Everything we put out, it returns to us in some shape, form, or fashion. And the largest part of that is our words. It's how we speak about ourselves. It's the energy that we put out. So, Nate, when you say you feel my passion, I'm glad, because I want to put all my energy into anything that I'm doing, my whole heart. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel me if you don't do nothing else. You ain't got to like me. You ain't got to agree with me. That bitch mean what she say, though. You know, like real talk, you know, and that's what it is, you know, and figuring out our whys, you know. It's so many people that feel like selfishness is a bad thing. And in many ways, the ways we have applied our selfishness is bad, but it ain't bad. We need to apply it to being able to reallocating our energy to our own healing and growth and development, and actually helping that be what it is and not just the presentation. Now, if we put as much energy into actually doing the work as we do looking the part, boy, we'll be some bad motherfuckers, I tell you. Boy, we sure would. Boy, we sure would. But that's what society has told us is most important. It's the appearance. Fake it till you make it. And to an extent that is necessary in order to get your mindset into a place where you can assume the mind of what you are becoming. But that's the extent of it. That's the extent of it. You got to assume that mindset. If you can't see it in your mind's eye, you definitely not gonna manifest it or bring it to you in reality. But when you can see it in your mind and you can feel it in your body and you can bring that passion and that energy to it like you got it, even when you don't, it don't have no choice but to come to you. It don't have no choice. And that includes healing. Anything you want in your life. You know, the crazy thing about the Bible is that it give away a lot of game. If I done said something to you on here and it's good, make sure you hit the share button. It give away a lot of game. Asking it shall be given. Seeking you shall find. Knocking the door be open. For everybody who seeks, gonna find it. For everybody who knock, door gonna be open. Y'all, it ain't nothing we can't have. We be asking for trivia shit. I want a new car. I want a few dollars. I want to go on a trip. That's all you want to do when it tell you that the earth and everything therein belongs to you and your Father? Come on, man. We are in direct relationship to the source at all times. The source supplies us with all resources, right? So if we can have access to anything, why don't we want to use that in order to be able to create more peace and more love and more abundance for other people, right? We can do that if we don't think there's a scarcity. And then now we got to have a real conversation about the shit we say and the shit we actually do. Because we ain't been being coherent in our practice for a long time either. For real. We got some disconnects, but we all human. We human and divine at the same time. My elders say that often. You know, and they remind me that as much as we got to hold the tension of acknowledging all of our flaws and our failures and our fuck ups, we also have to acknowledge the beauty of the persistence and the will of our spirits and what come with that, and all of the lessons that have come with the ancestors being able to get us to this point, man. We didn't get here without standing on the shoulders of somebody. We didn't get here without somebody praying for us, without somebody standing in the gap, without somebody seeing something in us, oftentimes that we didn't see in ourselves, and then helping us get to that place because we couldn't do it by ourselves. And one of the things I hate the most is that, you know, my generation is I did it by myself. Me, I. Got it out the mud, this, got it out the mud, that. And it's like, hey, man, I can acknowledge that the work that I put in, ain't nobody else put in. The sweat of my brows is always motherfucking wet. You hear me? It's dripping because I'm putting work in. But I would be a lie and a half if I ain't acknowledged that it's people that have held doors open, that have made phone calls, that have showed up when wasn't nobody else around. You know what I'm saying? You got to acknowledge your people and take care of them. We got to figure out how we're going to take care of our elders too while we're talking about all these transitions and preparations and plans. Because I don't know who looking out for our elders, making sure they got food and water and somebody go see about them. Because we are real entitled, somebody need to call and ask me ass generation, okay? I'm 32, so I might not be talking to all of y'all, but I definitely know how some of us be acting. Check on your people, man. Get with them and make a plan. Figure out how we gonna live into this purpose and power and the truth of healing and what that means in terms of showing up for the work, not holding that shit in our bodies, in our bellies, and allowing it to consume our spirits. Figuring out how to pour our cup out so we can have it fill back up by asking for the divine wisdom to be able to move in strategic ways that allow us to be able to transition out the shit that we're looking at. Because again, we are in the middle of dealing with things we never dealt with before. It's going to take some divine guidance to get through it, and that is okay. We got to get past our egos not allowing us to say, you know what, I'm kind of fucked up in that area. I really need to do some work. I need to fix that. I need to heal. I'm hurting. We got to make it okay for people to say, I'm hurting. We got this toxic positivity that if everybody ain't happy and well all the time, they got to get the fuck from around us. We ain't got no space and no time for them because they're going to bring us down. But if that's the attitude and that's the posture, ain't nobody going to be healed. Because the people who need it is going to be ostracized from the folk who can help them get it. How are we holding space for each other in these times? You know what I'm saying? These are questions that I ask myself all the time. Because when you got 8 Zoom meetings a day and people are acting like that shit is normal, I mean, like, what are we doing? It ain't even normal for the body to be in front of a screen that long. Like that much engagement ain't even right, but we keeping it on going like business as usual. And all I'm saying is we, the people, got to know who we are in our power and figure out how to walk in that. And so I love us. I want us to be able to be our best selves. And I'm working every day to do it myself. I ain't got it figured out though, y'all. My elders say all the time, we make the way by walking. And that's what we're doing. We're figuring out as we go. Ain't nobody got all the answers. And we got to stop looking for a figurehead to come through and give us all the answers. Like we want a savior. Ain't nobody going to save us if we don't do it. We the ones we've been waiting for. And that's it. And that's all. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Like we it. And if we don't embrace that, if we don't accept that, y'all, it's finna be a long, hard road. Because like I told you, they told us to make a plan. So me and my people are sitting down and we doing some thinking. And we know sometimes it's important for us to think for more than just ourselves. So I encourage y'all to do the same thing. Love on yourself, love on your people. Y'all call and tell your people that you love them, okay? The next day, the next minute, the next moment ain't promised to nothing and nobody, okay? It ain't promised. Use your time wisely. Use your words wisely. Be intentional about what you're doing in your life. Don't take nothing for granted. We don't have the luxury to do that right now. Things are changing so fast. They're changing so fast. We don't have the luxury to do that. There was a time we did. Peacetime as we once knew it is coming to an end, okay? Like I said, we in the middle of watching the transitions. We watching it. Keep your head on a swivel, you know? Make sure on your practice you stand on your toes. I told myself I actually got to get back in shape, y'all. I can't run a mile to save my life and not do it in no record time and feel like I'm about to die and pass the fuck out before I get done. I ain't been able to do it. I had to get in shape. I don't know what this next season is going to require, but they told me to make a plan, goddammit. I'm getting on it. And actually been on it long before they actually said to do so. But the fact that they are being so openly blatant now, hey man, make sure you got your upper body strength together. Make sure you can carry some things. Make sure you might even need to be able to carry someone. You know what I'm saying? Get you some sandbags and start moving them. You know, 100, 150 pounds. It's good for us all to be able to lift 150 pounds with ease. Now, I think that's a decent body size, you know. But I don't know. The fact that Walmart is selling MREs, which is your emergency food kits, boy, just let me know that they are preparing for something that they are not having a conversation with us about. And it's a lot of preparation that's happening for stuff that ain't being conversations had about. Go on and sit with your grannies and your aunties and learn how to can some fruit. Learn how to preserve some the veggies and stuff. Make sure you got some nuts and shit stored up, man. Like these are times where we really got to be seeking the ancient wisdom of the earth in order to be able to lead us. Hey, Miss Ruby. Hey, Emmanuel. Hey, E. You know, so like I said, I ain't gonna be on here long, y'all. I really just wanted to get on here to let y'all know that I love y'all. But we got to get our shit together, and we got to start thinking in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be able to take all their little trips. I want everybody. We're not gonna leave you, Tuffy. We're not gonna leave you. We're not gonna leave you. I don't believe in that. We probably gonna need you for the instructions for real. Because again, y'all, we got to start sitting with our elders and listening to the stories. We got to start cataloging the wisdom that's gonna carry us, because everybody ain't gonna be with us forever. You know what I'm saying? In a perfect world, that would be it. You know what I'm saying? And for me, in my perfect world, they always are, because we can call on them we can call on folk in the spirit, and they still will come and have conversations and give us what we need. That's the beauty of what I know to be life. Because energy don't die, it just transforms, it just transitions, it just go another direction. You know what I'm saying? But it's still with us. And so, like I said, man, we got to make sure we doing what we got to do. We getting our shit together, and we not letting our pride impede on our progress. We cannot afford to let our pride impede on our progress. And that's the word I meant to put together about your Carrie. Can't let the pride impede on the progress. My sisters, my brothers, we need y'all too. I don't even know if it's any of y'all on here. I seen Emmanuel say something. If it's some more y'all, hey, LaShonda, by all means. But look, we need y'all energy too, to be willed toward the life and the longevity of our protection and our sustainability. We got to work together, and it's going to require us all working together in order to be able to get anything done, in order to sustain ourselves. And that's the thing, you know. The collectivity, y'all. We gotta move into it from individualism. You know what I'm saying? We get ourselves together as an individual so that we can come together, you know? And I just want us to do it more often and more intentional. So y'all gonna see me on here more. Y'all also gonna see me providing opportunities for us to be able to have conversations around what these things look like and how we can do it in our own communities with our own people, and hopefully access to some other resources. Like I said, me and my people thinking about it. Get with y'all people and think about it. Love on your people, call them, check on them, make sure you know what's what. Make sure everybody on one accord. So I love y'all, and have y'all a good night tonight. I love y'all. I mean that from my soul. Can't say it enough, man. Have a good night.